Hey everyone, welcome back. David in History for the Ages here. So this is a topic I haven't really done, Magna Carta. It's a document everyone's heard of, but I don't think a lot of people really know. If you ask the average person, well, what's in Magna Carta? People go, I don't know. So I just want to do a really short history on this for you guys. I'll leave the links in the description where you can learn a little bit more, and also a link directly to, reading the whole document if you want to. I have my students read it actually this week, so I was thinking, hey, it's a good time to record a little video on it. So Magna Carta 1215 is when the first Magna Carta, there's actually more than one, is created, and it translates to Great Charter. It's of course associated with events in England. This is kind of the who, what, when, where, and why of Magna Carta. Really basic. I think this is also good for younger students without getting into the weeds of everything. And the way it developed, how we got Magna Carta, has to do with multiple factors. But one factor is there was a man named King Richard the Lionhearted. He was involved in the Crusades, which created a lot of economic turmoil for England. The Crusades weren't cheap, and he had to tax a lot of people, and it upset especially a lot of the nobles and barons and nobility inside of England. And so he dies in 1199. He's going to be replaced by his brother, King John. So this is actually a picture of King John that you see here. And King John, who was not very popular, right? He faced problems from the church as well. They didn't like him. The nobles didn't like him. There was a lot of issues, again, without getting into all the weeds. A lot of the barons got upset, and they first actually drafted what's called the Articles of the Barons, which then eventually became Magna Carta. And King John had to agree to this. He basically was forced to agree to the ideas in this Magna Carta. And then, as I said, there will be actually several other reissues of the charters. There's going to be more than one of these that comes out later, but 1215 is like the first Magna Carta that we were familiar with. So what's in it? What did the king have to agree to? Well, let's go through this. And this is, again, really basic. It was more about protecting rights of nobility at the end of the day, right? Protecting a lot of rights of inheritance for widows and other people like that. It said that the king had to follow the law, right? That he wasn't really above the law himself, and that he couldn't punish people without a trial. It also did protect other things in terms of the rights of the nobles to have weapons and other elements of society. And again, you can find all the details in there in the actual document. But it did also try to protect some rights of the church and merchants as well. But is it democracy? And that's what it's not. And I think that's one thing I always like to make clear to people, that it's not all of a sudden 1215, this is the death of monarchs or anything. We're not even close to that yet, right? We still have this whole hundreds of years of period after this in England and other nations in Europe where kings become very strong. In fact, absolute monarchs that we're going to see later on. I have a whole, set of lectures on that, of course, from absolutism in France. Maybe some of you have seen. Um, so it's not democracy in terms of what we think of. It doesn't say, hey, let's elect representatives and have, this bicameral system of governing and all these things we think of. But it will, in later years, influence others who will bring some of those ideas, whether it's our Bill of Rights in the United States or other ideas as well. So it does have some influence later on. So it's interesting, the Magna Carta, in terms of basically what it was and what it's not. And I think that's kind of the two things I want to make clear to people. If you want to see one, there aren't many of them. There are actually only 4 copies left of the original Magna Carta. I believe a few years back, one of them went on a tour. I've actually seen one when I was in England one time. And I think there was another one that they put on tour. I believe it was in the Reagan Library, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So if you ever get a chance to see one, it's pretty cool. All right, so anyways, that's a little brief history on Magna Carta. If you want, more information, look at the details. And then I have a lot of other lectures that cover, the Middle Ages. I have a whole playlist on the Middle Ages you can watch and learn from. If you want to learn a lot more about that time period, I'll leave the link up here too. All right, everyone, have a great day. Thank you for watching.